Every year, WrestleMania comes around. But WrestleMania isn't just a one-night event. And it isn't just a two-night event either. It's a festival. It's wrestling's version of the Super Bowl weekend. Fans travel from all over the world. Independent promotions put on shows. Legends sign autographs. Meet and greets take place. Podcasts go live. Wrestling conventions fill entire buildings. Friends who only speak online finally meet face-to-face. Entire cities embrace WrestleMania week. For many fans, WrestleMania isn't a show, it's a pilgrimage. Now, I know some fans have criticized the pricing of certain experiences over the years, and that's a discussion for another day. Because I don't want to talk about prices. I want to talk about the man who made WrestleMania possible, Vince McMahon. Now, before anybody starts typing angry comments, let me say this. Vince McMahon is far from perfect. His legacy will always be debated. But if we're talking purely about professional wrestling and business innovation, then you have to acknowledge what he accomplished. The man changed wrestling forever. When Vince took over his father's company, wrestling wasn't a global phenomenon. It was regional. The wrestling world was divided into territories. Promoters had unwritten agreements. You stayed in your area. You didn't invade somebody else's market. Vince looked at that system and decided to smash it. He took WWF national, then international. He acquired television slots, signed major stars, expanded into rival territories, and turned a regional wrestling company into a global entertainment brand. That took vision, it took confidence, and it took guts. But Vince's greatest gamble wasn't Monday Night Raw. It wasn't Hulk Hogan. It wasn't even the Attitude Era. It was WrestleMania. Today, WrestleMania feels guaranteed. In 1985, it wasn't. If the first WrestleMania failed, WWE might not exist today. That's how serious the gamble was. Vince invested enormous amounts of money. He brought together wrestling, celebrities, music, and mainstream entertainment. He wanted professional wrestling's version of the Super Bowl. Most people thought he was crazy, but Vince believed wrestling could be bigger, much bigger. The first WrestleMania took place at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Muhammad Ali was there. Mr. T was there. Liberace was there. Cyndi Lauper helped bring mainstream attention to the event. And at the center of it all stood Hulk Hogan. The gamble paid off. WrestleMania was a success, but more importantly, it changed how wrestling was viewed. No longer was wrestling simply a regional attraction. Now it felt like a global event. And Vince didn't stop there. He understood something many promoters didn't. Presentation matters. Theme music matters. Entrances matters. Lighting matters. Commentary matters. The way a wrestler walks to the ring matters. He took ordinary entrances and turned them into movie scenes. He turned wrestlers into larger-than-life characters. The Undertaker wasn't just a wrestler. He became an attraction. Stone Cold wasn't just a wrestler. He became a cultural icon. And that same thinking carried into WrestleMania. Every year, the show became bigger. Bigger stages, bigger entrances, bigger matches, bigger moments. For me, though, Vince's greatest strength was adaptation. When WCW and ECW started gaining momentum, Vince didn't panic. He evolved. The Attitude Era was born. And for me, that remains the greatest period in wrestling history. Raw felt unpredictable. Anything could happen. Stone Cold could drive a beer truck. DX could invade WCW. Mankind could win the WWF Championship. The Undertaker could appear out of nowhere. Every Monday night felt dangerous. Even the commentary felt real. Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler had an incredible chemistry. JR especially had a gift for making moments feel authentic. When something shocking happened, you believed his reaction. That made the audience believe it too. Love Vince McMahon, hate Vince McMahon, respect Vince McMahon. Whatever your opinion is, one thing is undeniable. Without Vince McMahon, professional wrestling would not look the way it does today. And without Vince McMahon, there may never have been a WrestleMania. The event that started as one man's biggest gamble has become wrestling's biggest celebration. And nearly 40 years later, fans still travel from around the world to be part of it. That's one hell of a legacy.